I'm supposed to say something?
I feel like I start it usually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey.
Sorry, I had to burp.
Okay.
Okay, start
You
over.
wait all this time for me, and then you say, no, we're not starting over.
Sorry.
It's all your fault.
Start over.
Nope.
Hey.
I already said hey.
What?
You said I started. You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
So.
Well, we just saw a movie.
Did we?
We did, and we watched. We watched Scream.
Yes, the 1996 thriller that took the United States by storm, starring so many people that I forgot were in the movie, and people forgot were even actors.
Tell the folks, why are we watching Scream from 1996?
We're watching Scream because it's Halloween time. Campy voice.
Because it's October and it's what you do.
That's what you do. You wait till October and then you dress up like a sexy COVID-19.
Like the red ball with all the little
the red ball
things.
Yeah.
How is that? Is it sexy? So would you wear like a big round ball with pokey things and then put like lingerie on top of that?
Sure. Yeah. Or you make it really small so it just fits your upper torso and then you wear stockings.
Okay.
And
or you cover your essential bits with COVID.
You could do that, but that's
thing.
I think it's better. It's better when it's more outlandish. Like, I'm a sexy Twinkie. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. And then that's the thing. Kind of like when Homer had those dreams about the donuts that had legs. That's pretty much what you just turn anything.
The donut with legs.
Yeah, you just be like, I'm a sexy microphone.
Yeah.
I'm a sexy receipt. You know, you just put a receipt on your torso and then
people do get ridiculous
stockings.
with Halloween.
It's very ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be peak ridiculous.
Peak ridic.
Yeah, exactly. Peak ridic.
Peak ridic.
Like it. Coined it. Done. Stamped.
That's right. So yeah, we just got done watching that. And boy, was it a movie. But we'll talk about that soon. What have you been up to, Michelle?
Ooh, I have news for everybody.
Ooh, tell us.
In case you hadn't noticed, it's been a minute since we put out an episode.
That's right.
And you know those one wheels we talk about all the time?
What about those one wheels? The one that you talk about all the time that you love so much? Tell me more.
I love these one wheels.
Tell me more. Tell us why you should get all your kids a one wheel.
Yeah, all of them. No helmets needed. Just jump on. You don't need to practice. So Josh and I went for a ride a couple weeks ago. Very easy ride, sidewalks, nothing crazy. We've definitely done like more tumultuous terrain, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe. But anyway, we're flying along, almost back to the car. It's been 19 miles. I hit a ramp too fast. And then I am airborne, and then my elbow is facing the wrong direction.
That's right, kids. Her elbow faced the music, which was in the wrong direction.
Concrete. So
elbow concrete.
Yeah. So I don't really know the superficial medical things, but it's some sort of spiral humerus fracture brokenness. So I had to have surgery, which was fun. Not really. Yep. So actually, is today Thursday?
Today is Thursday.
So it has been a week since my surgery.
That's right. Yeah.
Today. So last week I was in the hospital.
She was anesthetized.
Yeah. They cut open my arm, broke some bones, put things back together, put the bones that they had to break back together. So I have hardware in my arm now.
That's right.
Which is
She's
interesting.
A cybernetic
Ooh, I wonder if I can stick a magnet to my arm.
It's a T1000. I don't think they're magnetic.
No?
I think it's just metal. Because if they were magnetic, not all metal.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that. No.
Oh,
because remember, you have to magnetize nails.
I know. Okay. So
come on, fourth grade.
So also, I'm on medication.
Yeah.
That makes my brain a little bit foggier.
She's on that Percocet.
So anyway, we haven't
done
an episode because I've been in the hospital and in pain. So.
And I've been cleaning up and getting water.
He's been,
and getting pills.
He's been taking great care of me, my husband.
That's me.
Yep.
The great carer. That's what everybody knew me as in high school. That was Josh, the great carer, Weatherspoon.
Yep. That's what the yearbook says.
It did.
Yeah.
It said,
the great carer.
That's right. Yeah. Most likely to care, Josh Weatherspoon.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, how do you feel about this award? I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. So, so my arm's in a sling. I didn't get a cast. I thought I was going to get a cast. I did not. I have a super heavy, I don't know what he called it. I forgot what it is. It's a splint of some sort. There's something really heavy in there. My arm weighs like 6 pounds. It's really heavy.
My Uzi weighs a ton.
What?
What?
What'd you say?
My Uzi weighs a ton.
Oh, your Uzi. Is that your arm? Your Uzi?
You're like that guy at the KRS-One concert.
Is it?
When he tried to finish, he let the guy in the audience finish his sentence, and he was like, Texas? And everybody was like, oh.
Oh, was that a KRS quote?
Yeah.
Okay. So Uzi, because it's your guns, because your arm is your guns?
Yeah.
Got it.
Wait. Why am I saying KRS-One? I'm messing myself up. Sorry, there's a lot of people who have referenced it. It's Public Enemy.
Oh, Public Enemy.
That's right.
Got it. So, yeah, I guess my Uzi weighs a ton.
Yes.
So, that's me. That's my whole life right now, is laying in bed, watching The Office, trying to find a position that doesn't hurt my arm. Which is, yeah. I enjoy The Office.
I know, you've become Michael Heron.
I know. Our friends Emily and Michael love The Office, and Michael's listening right now. He's like, oh, they're talking about me. We're talking about you, Michael.
It's 3 months from when we actually did this. He's like, oh, I listened to that episode. You said my name.
Yep.
I'm like, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where are you finding these?
But it means he finally got to it.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, what else? What's going on? Nothing else
that's
is going
really
on,
it. I've been trying to figure out how to ride without you without breaking my arm.
Yeah, Josh. So I can't ride, and I'm very, 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 very sad that I probably won't be able to ride for several months.
Yeah. I'm thinking 6 months.
Yeah, probably 2021 before I get to ride again.
And then if your doctor sees you, just whip you.
So I met my orthopedic surgeon, and at the end of the appointment asked, half joking, obviously, when I could ride.
I don't think you were half joking because you want to ride again.
I do want to ride again, but I figured now was not the time to ask, so it was kind of a joke. But he did not think that was funny at all. He very sternly whipped back around and said, "Are you serious?" And I was laughing, and then he said, "Let's try to be risk averse, okay?" And then walked out. So, not the person to be like, "Yeah, I want to get back on my windmill."
He sounds like the lead accountant in The Wolf of Wall Street or something.
Also, the PA at the ER, because I had to go to the ER, guys.
Not the PA like in movies.
Right. The physician's assistant that looked after me in the ER in Northridge.
Uh-huh.
Owns a one wheel.
Oh, yeah. He said he got on it without a helmet and without reading instructions. He said he just started going 20 miles per hour.
Right. So at least I had a helmet and wrist guards.
That's right.
So I saved my noggin. Didn't break any wrists. I did have, what is it called? Road rash?
You did.
All over my legs.
On the Sega Genesis.
Yeah. So anyway,
Genesis does.
But now that PA in Northridge was a little bit scared to ride his one wheel anymore.
You messed him up.
Yep.
Now he's just going to throw it in the trash.
But as my mom said, got to get back on it.
That's what she said.
Get back on the horse. Don't be scared.
Little do you know, her mom was an equestrian rider. World champion. Gotta get back on that horse, she said.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Move on. .org. What we've been watching. We've been watching. Speaking about what we've been doing, I've been listening to the Deftones album. I forgot to say that. New Deftones Ohms. I'm looking at it right now. The eyes are looking at me. I got the record, got the t-shirt, I got the bundle. Because I've never bought any Deftones records. I got them all from the library. So
just out of support?
Or I got them somehow. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So go pick that up. I like the album. If you hate it, I don't want to talk to you about it. So yeah, what we've been watching.
What have we been watching?
We've been watching a lot of stuff since we've been on hiatus that nobody knew about. They were just like, oh, I'm clamoring for a new episode. Where are they? And we were like, joke's on you. Michelle's arm's broken. What did we watch? I don't know if we might have already talked about For All Mankind. We watched For All Mankind. We watched the other thing, Away, other space thing. This year has been the space. This has been the spaciest season ever.
There was Space Force.
There was Space Force. There was another thing, I think.
Probably.
There was For All Mankind, and then there was Away, and there's even more.
There is more space stuff coming.
Space stuff from this year that I can't remember.
Yeah.
There's Picard. That's space stuff. Wait, was that this year? I don't know. But yeah, that doesn't completely count.
Stuff.
Realistic space stuff, TV shows. So yeah, we watched that. We watched Zillionaires, right?
Kajillionaires. It's called Kajillionaire. It's a movie.
Yeah, it's starring Evan Rachel Wood, right?
Uh-huh. And Gina Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And some other folks. And it was what we watched that. We got a digital premiere. We watched the movie premiere digitally or virtually, I guess. Which was pretty cool to log in. We got a little code, we got a little login, and then after the movie, they did a Q&A with the cast. A Zoom Q&A.
Ava Zoom-A.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Kajillionaire, look it up. It was a really good movie.
Well, it was weird.
It's quirky.
You gotta preface that. It's kind of like when I had my mom watch Punch Drunk Love, and she was like, "What did you just do to me? This was the dumbest movie ever." I was like, "No, it's good." She thought we were gonna watch like a stereotypical movie.
Well, it's not like blockbuster kind of movie. Yeah, it's quirky, kind of independent feeling.
If you like Wes Anderson films mixed with weirder films, you'll like this film.
Yeah. It was wonderful. Watch it. I know we didn't tell you anything about it. Just look it up. Kajillionaire. Yeah.
We can't do all the work for you.
Yeah. Also, have we talked about Ted Lasso? How much I love Ted Lasso?
You love Ted Lasso?
I love Ted Lasso, y'all. If you haven't watched this show, what is it on?
Apple Plus.
Apple Plus. Apple TV Plus,
Apple DE,
whatever it's called. I was telling my dad to watch it, and I think I was telling him to look on Disney Plus. I was like, wait, I don't remember what we watched this on. I don't.
Your dad watches soccer, so that's something.
So it's a American football coach becomes a British football coach. Basically.
Fish out of water.
Yeah. So, but it's much more than sports, and I love it.
Than rap.
And it's got wonderful female characters. Keely is one of my favorite people on TV. Her character. So
it's a little much.
No, she's amazing. It's a very different female character, I'll just say. Like there's support. She's a supportive character and she says what she needs to say. And anyway, but I love all the characters on the show. Ted Lasso, look it up and watch it.
Watch it.
It's got heart. We all need some heart.
Yeah. And then, we watched American Murder or whatever last night.
Oh yeah, yesterday.
That was interesting.
That was
insane. A whole movie through body cams and home footage and Facebook. So everybody stop putting your life out there, or do if you think your husband's going to murder you. There's that. But that was pretty weird situation. Most people heard about it in the news, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. The guy was crazy.
Yeah.
So,
literally when it was over, I sat there for a second and had to just appreciate the fact that this was put together completely by editing.
Right.
Like there was no filming, no crews, no like going out and like hunting down the story. They literally just collected everything that was out there. They just asked people
like, hey, can we have that tape? And they're like, sure.
And put it together. Thanks. And it was really well done.
Yeah.
Because it could have been crap. If I tried to put it up together, it would not be good at all. So I was really impressed and also like a little weirded out, but pretty impressed that they were able to tell the story.
Yep. Yeah. That's what we've been watching.
That's what we've been watching.
We've been watching.
So we're going to get to what we just watched now?
Just watched.
we watched Scream, like we said.
Yes.
So, 1996. Thriller horror mystery movie.
We were a couple years out. Well, the OJ trial was still going on, probably.
Oh, yeah?
Bush was all the rage.
Wait, the president or the band?
Bush was already out.
Oh, okay.
So, Bush was about to be all the rage in 4 years. People were raging at Bush, I guess, was more of the thing. Rage Against the Machine was all the rage.
It's a lot of rage.
N64 was all the rage. That's what I was also been doing. A little bit of.
What were we? Sophomores in high school?
Mario All-Stars. We were, depending. We were either freshmen or sophomore. We were only freshmen. That song was out, I think, as well. Freshman by the Verb Pipe.
Oh.
Verb Pipe? Verb Pipe. The Adjective Gang.
Yeah.
So that was out. So we painted a picture for some of you people, like, as Donut Media says, Post Malone, who might have actually been born in 96 with all the jokes they keep saying about him. So all you young childrens who don't know what was going on in 96, we were still grieving over Kurt Cobain.
Right.
Or somebody was.
So, yeah. So just as soon as Nev Campbell came on screen, I thought...
You went back in time?
Those are those bangs. Those are the bangs.
Everybody wanted those bangs?
You get your fat curling iron and you curl the bangs under just a little bit. You don't want them to go like curl all the way, but it's got a little bump.
You had bangs.
I did. That's why I know about this.
Like till 19.
I had bangs for a long time.
But I'm saying like you know,
I didn't curl them like this forever.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
I did do this.
Like kid bangs.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just saying.
You mean like the blunt cut straight across?
No, like you were saying. Well, not even kid. I wouldn't. That's not even true. I would say more Texas kid bangs, where some people graduate to adult bangs, and then it's just kind of like it's the bangs that if you worked at the doctor's office, you know, receptionist bangs.
What?
You know, like those 40-year-old ladies who still have like the same. They've done their hair the same since 14 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay, got it.
Those ones.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to paint a bang picture.
Okay, well, Nev Campbell definitely had the curled forward bangs where there's like space between the hair and the forehead. Like it's like a good inch in there.
It's like that brontosaurus bone that they hand the Flintstones at the drive-in or whatever. It's like really curved.
Yeah.
That one. Sorry, it's a really strong childhood memory.
Yes.
Because I used to think that was an awning for their car for like
I did too, actually.
Years.
I really did too.
I was like, why'd they put the awning on sideways? And I don't understand what blah, blah, blah.
I was like, that was a
weird
choice for that car. Okay, so
sorry, sidetrack.
Let's kick this off. I've got the IMDb synopsis ready for you.
VIP.
We ready?
Let's kick it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
A year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a new killer who targets the girl and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game.
So that sounds true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a better than the other ones we've read from IMDb.
Mm-hmm. It's
good
decent.
job, new intern.
Yeah, good job. Good
job.
Or
the original intern, since that's from 96.
You know what I think? So here's what's interesting about watching a movie that we have seen and probably several times.
Right.
But not for like 20 years or something. I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah.
So, but you kind of know what happens, but you don't really know what happens. So there's kind of like this sense of like you're kind of watching a movie you haven't seen before, but you're only a few steps ahead of the movie.
Right. It's kind of like people who keep dating the same type of person and wondering why.
Like as the scene goes on, your brain is filling it in. Like, oh yeah, I remember that's what happens. Oh yeah, that's what happens. Because
that's why I don't watch movies twice.
At the beginning, I was like, who was the killer?
yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Because I was trying to figure out from the beginning. I was like, wait a minute. I thought, is it not so-and-so? Wait, is it, huh? And then later, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
See, I got confused with this and what we were also going to possibly watch instead or may watch in the future. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, is this a revenge thing? Or... But I think that's like Scream 2. I think Scream 2 is like revenge.
A revenge.
Like, you killed my brother.
Right.
You dirty rat.
So, yeah. So that was kind of funny, like reliving this movie a bit and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it was interesting. I feel like the beginning of the movie was the best part of the movie.
The Drew Barrymore bit?
Yeah, because it kind of like sets up the thing. It does the whole stuff that we know and love from horror movies.
So here's the thing about Drew Barrymore is how do you remember this movie being marketed? Because I couldn't remember.
I think it was marketed as Drew Barrymore.
It was, right? Okay, because I couldn't remember if it was one of those like surprise this big celebrities in the movie.
No,
but
it wasn't like a Matt Damon and Interstellar or nothing like that.
It was all like, this is Drew Barrymore's movie. Right. And the surprise was she dies in the first 3 minutes.
And they were like, Nev Campbell, who's this?
Right.
Because I don't think Wild Things came out. There was only 2 things that people like.
Was she in Wild Things?
Yeah, it was this and Wild Things.
Oh, yeah. So, well, the interesting thing about this with Drew Barrymore is that I'll do one of my little did you know things.
I do know things.
Okay, well, did you know that Wes Craven did not want to direct this movie? They went to him a lot and he kept turning it down. He said he was trying to get out of this genre because it was all misogynistic and blah, blah, blah.
Dang, he woke, bro.
So he was trying to get out of it. So they kept coming to him. So then, meanwhile, they're shopping the movie, blah, blah, blah. Drew Barrymore gets a hold of it and she goes to them and she's like, yo, I want to be in this movie.
She's like, this isn't misogynistic at all.
She's like, put me in this movie.
Girl power.
Right.
Is what I'll be doing in 3 years.
Right. So she's like, put me in the game. I want to be in this movie.
The game coach.
Yeah. Put me in the game coach. And so then once Drew Barrymore is on board, then Wes Craven is like, oh, okay, well, because horror movies typically didn't have like big name people.
Right.
They were like no name people because there's no budget and blah, blah, blah. And it was like campy movies and the genre was kind of dying. Anyway, so once Drew Barrymore was on, Wes Craven was like, oh, okay, so this will change things. This will make it seem like a legit movie. Now I'm in. But then Barrymore had other things that come up that she had to do.
Never been kissed.
So then she, I can't remember what it was. So then her bit got cut to just that beginning part.
Oh, she said, I'll just die in the end.
Yeah. So that's why she ended up, because originally she was supposed to play the main character.
Nev?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know. I wonder how that would have been.
I think it would have been. I don't know. I haven't seen Nev Campbell in much else. I'm not her demographic, but I feel like Drew would have done a better job. But I don't know if it would have been different. Really, Nev was fine. I don't think there was anything wrong with. I think Drew comes off. She didn't seem ditzy in this one. Mm-mm. Like her usually, like, oh what? Oh my gosh. But she seemed pretty confident in the 8 minutes we had with her.
Yeah.
I just think it was cool because Nev doesn't look like a valley girl, and then she has black hair, which is like so rare in movies for somebody to have.
Well, it was brunette, but she did have those blonde highlights.
It was brunette?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in Hollywood, that's black hair.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of cool. She didn't kind of fit a lot of stereotypes.
Well, Wes Craven chose her. He was like, hey, you in Party of 5, come be in this movie.
Oh, that's what she's from.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how many people had to be in between work to do this? Because Courtney Cox is doing Friends.
Right.
She's doing Party of 5.
And really this happened because Wes Craven's other project fell through.
What was that one?
I forgot, but...
Was it a Superman movie?
No, but it fell apart. And then he was like, ugh, fine, okay. Drew Barrymore's involved. Yes, I'll come do your movie.
He's like, my daughter's going to UCLA. All right, we'll do this. Yeah. Sounds good. Suit him up.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I liked the whole beginning scene. I thought it was pretty fun and funny. Like the whole Jiffy Pop thing. I was like, oh, I remember that. It's like Jiffy throwback. Pop.
I wonder if that was my first, because Jiffy Pop, I don't think we had Jiffy Pop. I don't remember Jiffy Pop.
Once I moved to Texas, I didn't use it was all bags. But before that, yeah, when in the 80s we'd buy the Jiffy Pop.
But for some reason, I feel like this is my like introduction to Jiffy Pop.
It could be like your brain could have made it seem like you've known Jiffy Pop your whole life, and nope, it's literally that it's literally that Rick and Morty episode. It's okay. Remember that time when I saved you down at the lake? And you're like, yeah, I love you, Jiffy Pop. You were the best. Wait a minute.
So, do you want to know another thing about this beginning bit?
Tell me.
Which I'm just making.
Tell me why.
I'm making an assumption here.
Ain't nothing but a... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Tell me why. Tell me why, mister. So, the writer, right?
Yeah. Writer strong.
This movie was inspired by real murders.
Real. Like cheese?
The Gainesville Ripper in Florida.
Dude who just farted all the time.
And killed students with his farts, but then also with weapons.
He would cup it and then they would die.
Yeah, so it was inspired, or
rest in peace to the victims of the Ripper.
Yeah, it was awful. But so he was inspired by, he had heard about these murders in the news, right? So then he wrote basically a short story, which makes me feel like that whole beginning. The short story was a woman home alone being tortured on the phone by a killer, and then he shows up in a mask and kills her. So I feel like that whole first bit was like the short story acted out. And then it took him like 3 days to write the rest of the movie.
Did the parents come in the house while she was being dragged and hung?
I don't know.
I thought that was the weirdest part.
Yes.
Because I'm like, who has the ability to do that? Like stab a girl, take their time, do whatever. Seeing that the parents are there doesn't run. And then did he have a rope ready? Or did he take the time to string her up for the parents to see her? I'm like, that's a pretty ballsy move.
Yeah, the physics and stuff of like the murders aren't, don't really match up.
I guess technically there were two of them.
But were there always two of them together?
Huh?
But did they do all of them together?
No, that's what I'm saying. That we don't know that. But also the thing is if someone sees you, there's a masked man and then there's a dude with no mask on. So it's kind of not great for both of you to be out doing your thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. What was it? So what was it? The next scene was Nev and Sydney and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend sneaks into her room, and then they start talking about like the sexual rating system. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, we used to be rated R.
Oh my god!
But now we're such and such. And I was like, wait,
we were on our way to a solid NC-17.
Yeah, I'm like, so were you having sex, or is R to you like hands? I'm like, what is?
But then your mom's murdering you, changed man.
No, he said that later.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He didn't say that at the time.
That's right. That was revealed
You're not going to say that when you're trying to get to an NC-17 rating.
Yeah, he was being so weird.
Yeah, he was very odd.
And now we're what did he say? But then she was like, can you settle for PG-13, and then flashed him?
Yeah, that's not PG-13, I don't think. Or is it?
I don't know. We didn't see it, so that made it PG-13. For him, though.
I'm just thinking about movies where there was one flash, like just one of the guys. That was a one flash thing. I'm like, what rating was that? You could probably get away with it, maybe.
I don't know now. I don't know.
Well, now you could just be NC-17 and then just say no F-bombs and then it gets PG-13.
Right, no bigs.
But yeah, that whole thing, I was just like, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, okay. But that, you know what I did not pick up on when I watched this in high school or whatever? Were all the different movie references.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because it didn't dawn on me that he was such a movie buff. And then throughout the movie. So here he's making a movie rating reference to their sex life.
Right.
So now that kind of actually makes more sense now that we're talking about it.
So yeah, when I saw it the first time, the obvious part where Jamie Kennedy's talking about movies and stuff like that.
That I get all
that. That was the obvious thing. But the thing that I thought was so funny is this movie is literally the definition of meta. Like it's just like meta, because they're in a movie talking about if we were in a movie, and then it's like but it's not a movie. This is real life. And they're like, but it could be. And they're like, it's kind of like winky wink, like two-eyed winks to the audience. Like this isn't a movie, but it is. But in a movie, this would happen. And then they're like, oh, I'm gonna go off by myself. And like you said, the rating system. All these different things.
And I guess he was probably doing movie quotes. He would say random things.
Right.
I guess those were movie quotes. I just didn't pick up on any of his movie stuff. I really just paid attention to the other character because he worked at the video store. So I was like, oh, he's a movie.
Right. He's obviously the movie.
Yeah.
The movie guy. Yeah. There's
It's funny. This movie, the original title was Scary Movie.
That's probably why Scary Movie became Scary Movie. They said, oh, we'll take that.
Yeah.
It was very, very meta, and I think it's like looking back, like watching it now, it's kind of annoying. I don't know how it would have felt at the time, like because it's not done in a funny way. I feel like a lot of things that are like 21 Jump Street, 21 Drummond Street, 21 Jump Street was a meta movie, right? But it was very fourth wall, like breaking, and very like funny winks. But this was a horror film that wasn't like silly funny, it was like campy funny. So all the meta stuff was just kind of like, what? Why?
Oh, you thought it was annoying?
Yeah, it was just kind of too much. Oh. It was like everything, like the part
I
where
guess I didn't mind it because of what it is, like because it was from 1996.
Yeah, but as I'm saying,
you're saying like if it was made now.
Yeah, made now. That's what I'm saying. Like me annoying. Watching it in '96, I didn't know. I didn't even know what meta was till like 4 years ago. So right. I'm like, people would say it, and I was like, I think I get it. I
still get confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's for '96. I think so I wrote down all the '90s stuff.
Oh, okay.
So Drew Barrymore's character, she hides behind a TV cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Which, nowadays the thing is to have the whole, which has kind of been a thing, is to have a whole like entertainment system where you can put like your picture frames and all the stuff in there. But back in the day, it was like you had a TV cabinet on wheels. So then you can position it to the dining room so you could see the TV from the dining room. Like that kind of thing. Were you going to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, because also now or it's just flat on the wall.
Right.
And you just have we have like a little IKEA thing underneath it. Like,
or you can pivot it or whatever.
Right.
And your TV also isn't a giant cathode ray tube.
But yeah, you most likely don't have a massive TV to hide behind.
Right. Yeah.
In the corner of the living room.
He could stab through TVs nowadays.
Right.
It's so thin, you could kill somebody through it.
Oh, all the phones.
Oh, yeah.
Is that on your list?
Yeah. Like the cordless phones.
The cordless phone.
Oh, when you had the cordless phone, that was amazing. But if you forgot to charge it from talking for 3 hours or an hour and 15 minutes, probably.
Right.
Then you're just done.
So the cordless phones and all the corded phones. There was so many different corded phones.
And then there was like when the boyfriend got arrested, he was like, "What are you doing with a?" What did he say?
Oh,
he said
a cellular telephone.
A cellular telephone.
Device. Did he even say device?
I don't remember.
I feel like he said a bunch of words.
I just know that he kind of was like, "Are you a drug dealer?" It's like, why do you have a cellular phone on you?
The phone the phone that he had didn't look like too, it definitely looked old. But Courtney Cox she had the Zach Morris phone.
Oh, yeah.
In the car.
She probably had the long range one. What was it? Oh yeah, the movie score too. I love watching 90s movies because it's the last breath of the full on like wimpy score.
Okay.
Because once the 2000s hit, it was like and here it's like
right. It would do the little bling.
Yeah, like the Back to the Future little things. And so, like, if you watch movies from the 90s, it's just kind of funny, like, how thin the music is and how, compared to now, how campy it is. And I think probably, like, the 2000s of almost all music was just like, we've got digital and we've got 4 trillion tracks. So we're just going to make this as loud and big as possible. It's like, you listen, like, in sync, you're like, wow, this is really harsh sounding. They just pushed all the volume levels up. And then 2000s movies, it's just gigantic sound, and it doesn't always sound great. But yeah, this was like the last era of just kind of, hey, we're going to hire 60 real people to create sounds in one room, and not like, oh, we'll record you separately, add a bunch of MIDI, and, there's no electronic elements. There's bad 90s rock. Like, hey,
oh, yeah.
Do you want like really bad Chemical Brothers with rock and roll? Like, we've got that. I didn't even realize the Fonz was the principal when I saw that. I think I never had seen Happy Days at that point. I don't know.
Really?
I've seen Happy Days twice, and I was like by accident, like 4 a.m. I was like, oh, that Happy Days show. Actually, I would see the intro and I had no idea what it was. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what this is. And
I feel like I might remember the intro more than the show because I probably like flipped it or like.
Yeah, because it's like Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days.
I don't know how many actual episodes I watched, but we knew of the Fonz. You kind of just knew about him.
Everybody knows about the Fonz.
Yeah.
Other thing, no cell phones. When they were sitting there joking about the killer, they were just sitting at the pond, not the pond, whatever, the
little fountain,
talking, leaning up against each other. Yeah. Nobody was like, it's like, hey, Tim, what? He's like, oh, did you see what Trump did? Like, there was nobody talking about nothing. And I was like, oh, what's simpler, great times.
They were just being in the moment jerks.
That's right.
They were terrible friends.
Oh, the guys were horrible. The guys were beyond horrible. Yeah. Like, who has a mom that died? Who, like, your mom dies, your friends should not, and then someone threatens to kill you, and then you just go like, hey, I'm gonna stab you, and I gutted. And someone was killed the day before, and they don't even know who it is, and they're on the loose, and they're joking about it. Like, I
guess it ended up being those guys, but
yeah, I guess when you're the murderer, you could joke about it,
right? Yeah, so
like, I'm not in danger.
But her friend was terrible, even like Rose McGowan's character Tatum. She was like, like, I know you totally almost got killed, but like,
it is funny.
Come over and don't be such a wuss. Let's go to the party.
Remember when she almost got killed, her friend said she was going to pick her up before 7, and she got there like 8.
Yeah.
After the guy tried to kill her.
She just walked up and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. Are you okay? Yeah. I'm like, she's like,
the police are here. Yeah. So no, I'm not.
Right.
I didn't know you can call 911 on a modem.
Oh, right. I was like, what is she doing? Was she gonna type out her emergency?
She's like, there is someone stabbed.
Right.
Yeah, I've never heard that before, but I was like, all right. Dunkin' Donuts bag. Not Dunkin' Donuts bag.
There was Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't even catch that.
Not Dunkin'.
Nope.
Oh, they brought up the Richard Gere gerbil thing.
Oh, I was going to Google that. I have no idea what this is.
You have no idea what that is?
No.
Okay, kids, or people have kids, put your kids to bed.
Earmuffs.
So, yeah. More
if your kids are listening, cool parents.
More like butt muffs. So, the story is that Richard Gere had placed a gerbil where the exit part is of your body for pleasure. Okay. And that was the story. I don't know where it came from. It sounded ridiculous, but you're also 14 and it's funny. So you bring it up. And it's just funny that they help perpetuate that stereotype throughout all time by putting that in one of the highest grossing horror films of the 90s.
Yeah.
Which made me think about, like, as we're watching, which we didn't mention, The Boys. And we've watched a couple of things also about Scientology. And stop sending me letters. I live across the street. I know you exist, Scientology.
Does it feel weird that they're like handwritten?
Yeah, they're like Josh Witherspoon, the one who likes to sit on the right side of the couch. Like, what? But I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if Richard Gere denied getting it. He's like, I don't want to get in Scientology, and they want him to get in Scientology. So then they spread a rumor about how he's into a gerbil fetish. I'm like, how did that come about?
Yeah.
There was a little millennium talk.
Oh, right.
I was
he
like,
said something about the millennium.
I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, he said it's the millennium. Motives are irrelevant.
Oh yeah, because we're all gonna die, and it's kind of like I just think the millennium was
But it was 1996. We were still like,
but we were still thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Busta Rhymes said there's only 5 years left in his first album.
Okay.
About the millennium. So, but yeah, I kind of thought of the millennium as kind of like, I feel like the end of this year, everybody's like, yeah, when 2000 comes, it's all going to change.
Right.
And they're like, 2021, COVID's just going to disappear.
Expiration date.
Years don't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's 2000 or 99. Like, you're not going to make more money.
Right.
Because it's a new millennium. Oh, 20 years ago. Two other ones. Tori Spelling diss.
Oh yeah,
like Tori Spelling was a thing enough for her to be dissed. You know, that's very 90s. And then your mom was a slut bag. And then he said some other stuff like Sharon Stone. I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's a 90s reference and a diss on two women.
Oh, another movie reference.
Oh yeah. There we go.
That's what that was.
But not the character. He was saying that Sharon Stone herself was a slut bag, which is pretty mean.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he was
referencing the movies.
But
that's the thing.
Did say her.
Their brains are so twisted from all the movies that they watched that they think that the real people are their characters. Which I also wondered if this movie was a big, like, ha, you're kind of dumb to all the, like, Marilyn Manson's polluting our kids and violence and ESBR, the ESBR system that they added to video games and, like, parental advisory. Remember, like, the 90s, the late 80s and 90s was this big, like, the media's ruining our kids. They're turning them into, like, you know, crazy drug addict, sex fiend, murder children or something like that. And I wonder if this movie was kind of like, hey, we're going to make a movie just totally about that. Kids who watch movies and then think for some reason they want to act out these movies in real life.
I think they did try and blame this movie for more violence.
This actual movie? Like, so it was meta world peace?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the mid-90s, they were just everything. They were just burn CDs, burn DVDs, these people.
So a 90s thing you did not mention.
What?
Was Miss Courtney Cox's neon suit.
Oh, yeah. I did write it down. I forgot about it.
With all the buttons. There was like buttons in the front.
She's like,
there's buttons in the back. There was like the tiniest little skirt and neon from here to Mars.
Yeah, that was pretty. The first scene, she comes in, Zoot Suit Riot.
Yeah. Dayglow green.
Is that what it's called?
As only you could wear.
I thought it was
90s.
canary.
That was some neon green.
Who was it? So one of the quotes that I thought was funny, sad, was what did I think Dewey dropped him off at school and he goes, "You're at school, you're safe now." And I'm like, oh, little did they know, 2 years later and until COVID hit, you were not safe at school.
Nope.
And anyway, you're not safe at school, as we saw in the movie. But a killer can go into a school, especially if you don't know who the killer is.
Right. They weren't safe anywhere he dropped them off. He kept dropping them off places.
Yeah.
And then was like, they're fine. They're together. I'm like, you dummy.
He's like a divorced dad with his kids. He's just like, yeah. We're going to spend time together. He's like, this is Marlene. Marlene's going to watch you. I got to go do some things.
Right. He's like, they're fine. They're at the grocery store. And then we see the murderer sneaking around the grocery store.
Right.
And then, I'm going to go, there's a curfew, but I'm going to go drop them off to hang out with 19 other students.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They're all together.
Yeah. They'll die together.
Right. I mean, come on.
And don't forget, not only am I going to drop these kids off with a bunch of kids in a house, unsupervised, but they're also drinking, and I know it, and I'm going to bring a reporter in to film it all.
Right.
Or even witness. Like, he didn't know she had a camera, but still, you don't bring a recorder. You don't bring a reporter in to get you fired.
Right.
Like, that should be the first thing that he's trying to make sure he protects. This is his job.
Oh, Dewey.
It's like, Dewey.
I'm glad he survived.
Yeah, he's got to. He's got 3 more movies in him.
He had to, that character needed to go forward.
Yeah, he was too much of a, like, you would feel mad at the writer of like, why did you do this?
Right, like you didn't have to kill off Dewey.
It's like when
they already killed his sister.
It's like when what's his name? What do we call him? Not chubby face Matt Damon. Killed that kid in Breaking Bad. You're like, what? You didn't have to do that.
Right.
It would be the same kind of thing. Like he was just a simple guy.
Yeah.
It's like not cool. But yeah, I don't.
I did notice in this that, and maybe this was like what Wes Craven was doing. I don't know, but I noticed that the girls, like the bad guys when they were attacking the girls, they got pretty beat up. Like the girls beat them up, and like Drew was that was
his way to kind of balance it out. She could
fight him, she fought
a little
him.
bit,
A little bit, and then Nev fought them like 3 or 4 times. Rose fought. She threw the beer all over him, and like
look, those dudes
like
should not have been able to walk or look the way they did.
No,
because they got flipped a bunch of times. They're like. You're like, I feel like the
they should have been wearing hoodies and like hiding all their bruises and cuts, and
because you can't be flipped that many times. Like, I think a chiropractor even would be like, I think you're committing crimes.
Right.
This is not
what's going on.
Really. Yeah, I think that was the thing I was thinking. And then also they gave him a run for their money, but they also the dudes the ROI on their work was poor. Like they were chasing and running, and then they were getting hit and knocked down, and then they were like pulling their knife up really high and then waiting. And I'm like, I know you guys are 2 young 17-year-old strapping lads, but you're not Jason, so you can't just magically walk
That's
slow
who they were
and
trying
get
to
there.
Be. Dramatic and
But I'm saying they were doing a horrible job at it. Like Jason, when you swing at Jason, he just grabs your hand. He's not like, oh, like they didn't. And I guess that's maybe the plus about these characters is that they were more realistic.
Right. They were just dumb kids.
They're just dumb, obsessed kids. And they're not like trained jujitsu murderers. Right. So, okay.
They got the upper hand on a couple people. But then like they also got kicked in the balls and, in the stomach and stuff a lot.
The ball stomachs.
And thrown across the room.
So here's the question for you.
Yeah.
Why would they do this? Like what? I was thinking at the end, like what in their background would cause them to go through this much work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to kill someone, but then to start like doing this kind of rampage and that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It seemed like because he was like, he had a motive, but didn't have a motive, right? He was trying to be cool with no motive because it's scarier that way, is what he said at the end. But also, his motive was that her mom, because the first person they killed was her mom.
Yeah.
And so that was because she had an affair with his dad and broke up their family.
Oh, right.
So it started that way. And then the dummy. I was
doing something over that.
And then the dummy, Matthew Lillard's character, whatever his name was just
the dummy
and went along with it. I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
The bleeder.
Right. We'll do this. Yeah. So then I think that he was just messed up in the head. And like, he was saying like all in these movies and they studied and watched the movies and figured they got away with it once. Let's start it over again and see what we can do. And we'll just, maybe they were like,
drum up.
Cause he said it's been the 1-year anniversary of killing your mom. So,
hey, remember?
So yeah,
remember
so
when he killed your mom?
I think he's just a psychopath. I think he's just a psychopath, and and decided to do this, and the other kid just was, I don't know what his deal was.
I feel like if you're a psychopath, you would be in charge. It was just kind of weird that, like, I know that guy had an axe to grind or whatever, but.
Well, the psychopath was in charge. He was the one calling the shots.
Oh, you're saying he was a psychopath?
Yeah.
Okay, but by the way that Lillard was acting, it was like he was a psychopath, and his whatever he was doing at the end, I hope that was somebody telling him to act that way. It was just way over the top.
He's so over the top. I wrote it down. Over the top Lillard.
He's but like the movie.
That set him up. I wonder if people saw that and was like, there's our Scooby-Doo.
There you go.
He's so over the top, but he's so perfect for Scooby-Doo.
Sometimes you do stuff that people think is dumb, and that gets you lots of money.
But my favorite scene of Lillard's scene was after he got stabbed, and he was just like, "Oh, I think I'm dying." He just kept whining. I was like, "That's great." I like that part.
I do feel like that's kind of more realistic, especially with what they were trying to do. Like, oh, let's stab each other in the torso. Like,
right.
Oh,
like
that's really not smart.
They didn't do enough research to know where to stab and not to stab.
Yeah, it was kind of like if you opened up a hood of the car and it says like, "Oh yeah, on the front is the radiator," and then you're just like, just snip that wire and pull it. You can't just do stuff
also,
like that.
with stabbing, you're really taking a gamble anyway.
Yeah,
they really should have just like slashed each other.
Yeah.
And just gone surfacey.
Right.
And
if they would have slashed each other's chest, that probably would have been enough.
Yeah, and then they could have just said they played dead because they were scared.
Right.
Like they just were left for dead. Because that was their whole thing, was they needed to look attacked, but took it too far.
Yeah.
But I did think that scene was funny when he was, "You hit me with the phone." Like it was so silly.
It would have been funny if he would have pulled a Paul Rubens and just like, or Peter Griffin.
That one last, I'm pretty sure I was shocked by this when I saw it originally as a teen, but when what's his face kept coming back to life.
Yeah.
Because they even said it like, now's the part of the movie where he comes back one more time, but he had already come back one more time. He already had the surprise.
Yeah.
Come back.
It was surprise.
Right. And so then it was like a third one.
It's the dude from Dexter.
And it was too much.
Yep. Too much.
Too much.
He got a bullet in the brain.
Yeah. That was my take. Too much.
Too much. So you get a bullet in the brain. Okay, so we talked a little bit about Dewey and how simple he was. I would like to see a spinoff where we find out how Dewey even got that job. Did they say?
It's a small town. He became a deputy.
I know, but he's just really bad. I didn't remember that Jamie Kennedy was in this movie.
I did not either. And
he was also a little bit over the top in some ways. In he was a horror Nazi, and he was just kind of like, no, this was gonna.
But it was within his character.
No, I know.
I didn't feel like he was over the top.
No. That was probably one of the most subdued Jamie Kennedys I've ever seen. I wonder what he's up to these days. Jamie Kennedy, get at us.
Okay, Jamie Kennedy, you're invited on the podcast anytime,
but not physically here. So Nev Campbell's Sydney, we were saying like, I said, and I think you agreed that she even looked a little bit and sounded like a Sarah Silverman.
A little bit. Mm-hmm.
A little bit there. Wonder if they're cousins. Nev Silverman.
Okay, let's talk about Sydney for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wrote down, did she just apologize for having PTSD and not wanting to have sex with her boyfriend?
Gaslighting.
She
#MeToo.
Apologized to this guy.
But I will say they both apologized, which does happen in relationships. And we see that even on Married at First Sight. Somebody will be more in the wrong and someone will be less in the wrong. But even if it's 2%.
I was going to say, I don't think she
was in the wrong at all. I'm just saying, like, from a person's point of view, if they're just kind of like, wow, I'm really, like, my stress is putting stress on you or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, it's just kind of like.
I see like, not really, and I'm sorry, but yeah, like.
I see that, like, this thing that's been going on for a full, because from his perspective, a full year of her going through this is tough.
Right.
But the way that he responded and what he's doing is not really like helpful. Like, yo, we're going to smash or what? Like, I'm kind of sick of all this nonsense.
Get over it. Your mom was murdered a year ago.
Yeah, let's have sex.
On. Let's have sex.
You're bothering my own my sexual comfort.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah. And 1 year, whatever you want to do. Like, we know people who've gotten remarried. Patton Oswalt got remarried in a year. If you want to do that, that's fine. But it doesn't. People don't always just. It's not like 90 days. It's not like a return or something.
Right.
Oh, my mom died. 90 days.
Well, and he even compared it. He was like, my mom left my dad and me. Those are the worst. Blah, blah. And she's like, my mom was murdered.
Those are the worst.
I mean, it's a little bit different. That's all.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know why you're crying about your grandma being dead. My grandma lives 2,000 miles away. And your grandma lives 2,000 miles away.
You can still FaceTime with your grandma if she can figure it out.
Live.
Right. I cannot FaceTime with the beyond. So
not yet.
Right. So also the other thing
uploaded.
That we did.
Upload? That was the show. Upload. Amazon.
That was a good one too.
Yep. Probably want season 2, 2025.
The other thing with Sydney is that she just kept leaving people like, and I get it, you're running for your life, but I mean, she wasn't doing that great of a job. She kept ending up back in that house. But
remember she said, women in horror movies always end up running upstairs, and that's all she did.
Yep. And she just left Courtney Cox, launched her van off into the woods.
I don't agree
left her for dead.
Like we talked about, I don't agree with you on that.
I'm just saying. And then her friend, she just left him on the porch to die. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I would have done.
Well,
in these situations, I'm just saying she was very quick to just.
But someone's
maybe that's how you survive.
But someone's trying to kill you.
Okay,
primarily.
But that's how you survive, I guess.
Yeah, because was she going to drag her friend for 3 miles?
I don't know.
And
I
then
guess
Courtney
that's how
Cox
people end up
launched
dying.
herself in the car.
That's true.
It's not like you're going to go, It's like if your friend fell down an elevator shaft while someone's chasing you. You're like,
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. That's just
It felt heartless in the moment. That was all.
How could you be so heartless? Nah.
Yeah.
I was about to sing a different Kanye West song.
Did this movie hold up?
No.
Not
to me. I don't even know if I really enjoyed it the first time.
Really?
I think I was like cool, but
I liked it.
I don't think I was. I think more so looking back on the meta-ness of it, I think that totally throws me.
Oh, okay.
Like at least the execution of the meta. I think that throws me out of it.
If it had been just meta.
Yes, but not meta. Not Metamucil.
So I guess it's the score of it is the Rotten Tomatoes is a 78 and a 79.
Yeah,
it's pretty even.
I did feel a bit of like, how much is left in this?
It did seem long.
Because it was just kind of like the same kind of things were happening.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like the first scene was kind of like if you just took the first scene,
it was the most exciting.
And then but if you take the first scene and multiply it times 3 or 4, or however many scenes were that,
yeah,
and then you put a couple of extra people in it, it's but also like we kind of knew something. And we've already seen it. It's like watching The Sixth Sense again.
Right. So we weren't just... What do you remember? What did you think about the big twist ending? The big reveal?
I was too young for that. I think I was too young to think about... I hadn't gone... like
this movie, not The Sixth Sense.
Right? No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. No one. Not even... M. Night Shyamalan was like, what?
He was dead?
He was dead the whole time? I wrote this?
What?
No. I think like this was before I was a film major for a short time. This was before I, was over 18 and had experienced things. Like I think back, I said this to somebody once. I go, oh, now I remember why my mom didn't want to watch any movies that I told her about when I was a kid. Because she already saw them. Like she saw them in the 60s. It's just the same movies over and over again in some sort of way. So that's how we are now. In our age, we'll watch a movie and go,
so you don't remember.
I think that guy is actually the killer, and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah.
Figuring it out the whole time.
Because we know all like the tricks. But at the time, I was just kind of, I'm watching a movie with my friends or some girl that I like that will never like me.
So you didn't have any like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. I didn't know it was going to be her boyfriend. Like, I can't remember if I had any of those thoughts of like now when there's a big when shows are able to trick us, it's like, what?
Yeah, they work hard to trick us now.
I can't remember if I felt tricked or if I thought that was like a cool twist ending.
So I think in that point in time, I was just happy to go to movies by myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't really, I was like, yo, someone else is driving, or I'm driving, or like I'm holding hands with this girl, and like my mom's not here, and I'm, like I got my own money. Like it was just all those things that I was more like, man, this is a great experience. I'm 17 and like, or 15, I don't know, whatever age. I'm this age and I'm hanging loose. And that's what I was thinking about. And also when you watch those movies back then, it's kind of like, man, those people are so cool because they get to live so free, but they're fake people, and you've also never got to live that free. Like, I'm sure people at rich parents probably felt how people in movies felt, but most of us were not, like unlimited resources. Like we saw one set of parents the whole movie.
Right. Where were all these parents?
Yeah. Nobody checked in with their parents.
Like there's somebody running around your town killing people and you're all just like, I'm going to dinner. Or I don't even know where you guys were.
But does that sound familiar to the times we live in now?
Well, I mean, just saying.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I don't know.
People are like, hey, go inside. There's a killer on the loose. You never know where they're coming from. And people go, we're going to have a drinking party.
No, that's true. You can't tell me what to do.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm
we
cool.
only did see one set of parents.
And they were traumatized.
And they were, we saw Drew's parents.
No, yeah, we did. We saw Drew's and then we saw her dad. Sorry, three.
Her dad.
Three parents.
He was tied up or whatever.
No, but in the beginning, remember he tried to open the door and the door was...
Oh, yeah. He was trying to be
jarred,
a good dad.
Not ajar, but jarred. Hey, maybe that's what it means. Like your door is jarred, like it's jammed, and your door is ajar, meaning it's
just
open.
Jammed.
Well, a jar has to come from somewhere. That's what I'm sticking to.
Okay, all right.
My name's Josh, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this... So you don't remember, but what do you think about it now?
Know. Oh, well, now I think it's just like a fun, old, scary movie. Like, it wasn't scary when we were watching it, obviously. It was also like daylight, and I don't know, it just didn't seem that scary.
And they're not 40 feet tall.
Right. I remember it was scary in the movies.
What are movies?
In the theater. What are theaters?
Yeah, that's probably better. What are theaters?
But I just remember liking it. I remember I liked the movie. And then I saw the sequels, I think. I think I saw them all.
I think I saw 2.
Well, yeah, I mean,
actually, I might have seen them all.
I think I saw them later, like on DVD and whatnot. But I do think I saw this one in the theater, and I liked it. So, yeah.
Scream makes me wanna scream.
I wonder if this was like my first horror movie.
Oh, yeah, because you're not big into horror.
No. Like in the theater, whatever. I wanted to go see it.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't even know what my first horror movie in the theater was. Like actual. I watched stuff on video, like VHS. I'd say maybe the closest thing was maybe that I can remember is like Addams Family Value or Addams Family.
Oh, Addams Family.
I did see. I think before it was released, I looked it up the other day. It was released in '84. So I'm like, that would be a traumatizing, deep memory. I think I saw a preview of The Neverending Story before it came out. Because my mom worked for Time Warner, and I remember seeing the wolf, and I was like, "Ah!"
Oh, yeah, it was scary. The wolf was scary. I found The Wizard of Oz, the second one. The what was it? Return to Oz.
Oh yeah, that was
kind of scary.
Weird.
And then also I remember being traumatized by Little Shop of Horrors. Watching that at home, being traumatized by that.
I love that movie. Little Shop
terrified me.
Yeah, I don't remember the first in the theater one I've seen, but this was probably one of the first. This might have been like the first flasher. I've never seen any flashers in the theater. The first slasher film I saw in the theater, maybe.
Yeah. So, I think that's it.
Yeah. So Sydney did her thing.
Yep.
Dewey was dumb, but started a relationship with the reporter.
Courtney Cox shot the dude.
Yep.
So the lady saved the day.
Yep. And Courtney Cox looks like she had an actual shiner that kind of healed a little bit. Most of the time people get punched in the face and
they just move on.
Yeah, if it's not an action movie, it's just kind of like their face is fine. So yeah, remember to scream when someone's stabbing you. And if they stab you too hard, you might go, Mom.
She got stabbed in the neck, so she couldn't yell.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Like us and subscribe.
Hey, we just saw movie.com. If you feel sorry for my wife's arm, don't forget to go to our patreon.com/hey we just saw a movie and support the podcast.
Support the podcast, y'all.
We need your support because that's what makes us feel good. When you show love, we love you back.
Is that your 90s jingle?
When we show, when you show love, we show it back.
Yeah.
There we go. And it's got that.
Yeah.
That's kind of late 80s, early 90s.
You know what else? We could use some reviews.
Review us on the iTunes.
On iTunes, guys.
That's how people move up ranks.
And you do the little typey and starsy.
Yeah, share the
tell your friends.
Share the link with your friends. Be like, yo, check this out. They're talking about Scream. Or yo, check this out. They're talking about Just Mercy.
We have a lot of movies.
Check this out. They're talking about other movies.
So we'll try and get some more movies out this month.
Yeah.
My arm's hurting, so
we gotta stop.
It's time to go now.
And as long as I don't break my arm, we got more coming this month. We're gonna do more spooky tales.
Yeah.
More freaky tales.
Spooky.
Sorry, that was a too short reference.
Bye.